Okay, let's talk about the hair for a little bit. Hair is always hard and difficult to get used to doing. There's some hair that's already been made that I'll show you where to download. Another technique would be just to use simple shapes. I think some of the ones that you saw in the examples I was showing before, they're very simple shapes. You know what I mean? Where they just did a kind of a hair kind of main shape. Woo! You want to change that color, don't you? Oops. So it's kind of a main shape. Again, you can hide it, show it, hide it, show it, hide it, show it. I really want this really dark color. Start with, oh, it's almost black. Dude, it's kind of a brownish. There we go. Oops, not that one. Oh, I wanted that dark color. Should have put it in my, there we go. So we got a kind of a dark color start here, and then maybe go over with the pencil again and give me some of that, a little bit of lighter color here. So just by giving it kind of a shape like that, give it a nice, oof, that's not what I wanted. Kind of a shape like that, and then maybe even some more. So just putting colors over top like it was before. This one I'll do even a brighter color. Looks kind of psychedelic, but I don't know. I was doing it kind of fast. A lot of what people do is you know, another way of doing it is just doing the kind of the fill-in shape that you have there. Other people, you know, a nice simple gradient. You might have seen in some of the samples that we were looking at before that some people might use a nice simple gradient, if I could get to gradients. So adding really simple, subtle gradients, as you can see, might add to your piece also. It looks like he has a helmet on, does it? Okay, let's get to doing actual hair. One way of doing actual hair might be to go and download hair. There's a great hair online at the Adobe website. If you just go to the adobe.com and go to the learning, and then go to the exchange, and then go to Illustrator, and go to I don't know if it's pattern, I think it's brushes, and under brushes they used to have a great hair brush. I think if you just search for hair like that, there it is. It's called hair. Great hair. I love all the hair that they have here. All you need to do is just download it, and then you should have yourself a Adobe ID. I have one. You can sign up for free. I think that's the wrong password, yes. So on the Adobe website, you can download that hair and save it on your computer. Once you've saved it on your computer, if you go back to Illustrator, you can go under Window, brushes. In the brushes, I could say, where's it load? Open brush library, other library. So in the brushes window, since I downloaded the hair off the Adobe website, I go to the upper right corner of the brushes window. If I hold it down, I can go underneath open brush library. And if I say other library, it'll allow me to go and find the hair. I think I stuck it on my desktop somewhere. My messy desktop. Hair. No. Where did it go? I know I downloaded it. Hold on. Okay, found it in my downloads folder. So if I choose my hair from my brushes window and I hit open, you'll see the hair shows up over here in the brushes library. Now to use these, again, they are brushes, so you're using the paintbrush, okay? And if you draw right now, it's just going to draw a white line because you didn't have it tell it what you want to do. What you want to do is you want to use this as an artistic brush, okay? An artistic brush. So if you just click on it, it'll show up in your brushes library here. And if you click on it, you can then go over to your window, your portrait, and you can draw your line. You'll see it'll give you kind of this brush kind of look to it. Okay, so basically what it is this object. I know this is not his color of his hair. You probably use the darker one. There we go. That's a little bit better. You'll notice you can draw lines, and it's basically using what we call an artistic brush, or sometimes you can use a pattern brush. Wow, look at that funky hair. If you want to, so that's the hair that downloaded off the internet. Very, very nice and easy hair to use. Great for adding hair to people's heads. If you want to make your own hair, it's basically, if you look at these brushes here, it's basically a series of objects that are saved. So if I wanted to make my own hair, I could then go and draw some lines, 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 draw some lines. Change it a little bit here. Draw some lines. Just using the pencil tool and draw some lines. Has a white stroke, that's why it's given that kind of look to it. Okay, so after you draw some lines, you select your lines that you have drawn, and you drag it into the brushes window. Once you drag it into the brushes window, it's going to ask you what kind of brush you want to make. The brush that you see that we've downloaded off the internet and use is what's called an art brush. So if I choose art brush and hit OK, it'll ask me how I want the stroke to be. Of course, I want it to go in the direction that it's going in right now. If you look, I don't want it to go that way. I don't want it to go that way. I want it to go stretch to fit the length of the brush. Oh, this is what I meant. This way. I want it to go along the brush. So I'm going to leave the default stretch to fit the length of the brush. And then if I come over to my hair here, I can then use the paintbrush with the brush I made. And you can see, oh, it's a little bit too fat. Oh, it's not as good. No, of course not, because I made it too big. I made it too big, and I should just use strokes instead of fills. So let me change that. I'm going to get rid of the fill. I'll get rid of the fill and just give it some strokes. Problem is I give them all the same color stroke. Probably give some different color strokes. Different color strokes. Different color strokes. Maybe some brighter strokes. Oh. If you double click on an object, it's going to take you into object making mode, just like you were in Flash. I want to do that. Okay, so let's try again. So select all my brushes. Maybe make it a little skinnier. There we go. Select them all. Drag them into the brush window. Use art brush. Hit OK. Hit OK. Now let's try and draw. So the problem with the first one I did was this first brush, it was too many fills on, not enough strokes. So let me try it this time. Choose the brush. Oh no, that's the same one. Oh, here we go. New one. There we go. So this is the one I made, You can see the brush is just it's basically a series of lines, but if it'll follow your brush, so you can really draw your own hair, and you can see you can give yourself a really nice portrait. Try and go with the you know, the way the hair kind of flows. And so that's a good start to the portrait. See what you can do as far as that is concerned. Again, making objects and blending them like the fruit is what I would do. Next lesson I'll talk a little bit about printing this out and things like that.